Hey, how y'all doing? 40 Minutes with 40 is coming back. Make sure you stay tuned. We are looking to increase the platform on Spotify and all places that you can find your podcast. We'll keep you up to date on that. But we have some great shows coming up. We have some very great interviews coming up. We have some great information coming up. I guess I've used great 3 times. So it's going to be great. So come on out and support, man. 40 Minutes with 40. Sit back, turn it on, put your feet up, and listen to what's going on. Thank you so much. 40 Strong News. Hey everybody, this is Free, your Chief 40 Strong News correspondent, and I'm coming to you live with, we're going to call these 40 Strong Stories, where I come across cases that don't sound right, whether it be the sentence don't sound right, the conviction don't sound right, something is not right, and we're going to be highlighting these throughout the year, hoping that the governor or somebody can look into the situation. The first person I'm going to introduce today, we're going to condense this interview, but we're going to get to the point, the facts and things like that, is Melo. Melo is a guy who came up to me, the typical, hey man, you the 40 strong guy, man, I heard about you, I need help. You know, the first thing he said is, I got a 100+ year sentence and nobody was hurt. Now, I'm not going to say that we're going to act like crime is okay and we're not supposed to, we accept our punishment and whatever happened, but if someone says they got 100+ years and no one was hurt, no one had no bleeding, no nothing for a robbery, it stood out to me. So right now, I'm going to introduce Melo, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself and what county he was in, the sentence, and I'll be right here with him.
So, my name is Wayne Clark. I got 3 armed robbery charges, 4 abduction charges, 4 grand larceny charges, 4 the felony in commission of a felony carrying a weapon in commission of a crime, 4 Jones for felony possession of a weapon. But I went to trial for my case, you know what I'm saying, and I went to trial with 3 co-defendants who lied on me under oath for another armed robbery in Greene County court for armed robbery of a Dunkin' Donuts. And it came out during court, and so I ended up beating it. It was a media blackout when I went to trial in order to prevent me from presenting my defense. The Commonwealth attorney and the judge admonished my witness without giving her proper legal representation with the threat of perjury. Now, my Commonwealth also got in trouble in December 2012, for having a man in jail for 2.5 years while knowingly possessing cell phone time records proving his whereabouts for the crime that they said that was committed. He didn't get out of jail.
Now, Melo, let me say this real quick. I want to make sure that everything I heard was true, because I never had him tell me the case, because I like it to be fresh for, the audience. I don't want to know everything. I like it to come out how he want to say it. You did say that with all of these charges, no one was hurt. No one was physically touched. Okay, finish. Here you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a fact. No one was physically touched whatsoever. In fact, it's in the closing argument that it is stated that no one was physically touched. That the time was about me, the psychological effects to the people that was victims of the crime. Which is true. In fact, I am sorry for their pain and their suffering. And if I could change it, I would. I was a child, now I'm a man.
Now, when you say you were a child, how old were you when this actually happened, and what was your mind state at that time?
I was 23 years old, you know what I'm saying? I had just came home from doing time in 2010. I was thinking like a child, any 23-year-old like a child, trying to catch up. I had just started doing little college courses. I was trying to party more than I was trying to be an adult. I didn't know how to be an adult yet, you know what I'm saying? And I made a mistake, you know what I'm saying? If I could take it back, I would. But my changes since then has been, I have my children in my life, you know what I'm saying, my family in my life. I've gotten focused, you know what I'm saying. I'm no longer concerned with the the foolishness of being a child. You know what I'm saying? The things that entertained me once before no longer mean anything to me now. More than anything, I would like to just be able to be a productive citizen in society, as well as be a pillar of support for my family.
Now, if you had to name 3 things that were really wrong with your trial, like if we had a lawyer on here, a delegate, someone who cares about criminal justice reform, and if you had to name 3 things that went erroneous with your trial, including the sentence, no one should get 100 years if no one was hurt. I'm going to say that, and I stand by that. If a person commits a crime, robbery or whatever, and no one is physically harmed, that person's life should not be taken. That means 100-year sentence. He was 23 years old. His life is pretty much done. So can you give me 3 things about your charge, the trial process, the arrest, whatever you have? Just give us 3 things that the audience would know, wow, that's wrong.
Like, again, first, when they were taking the statements of the people that were supposed to be my co-defendants, they gave 5 different statements before they could come to my name. And on a phone call the male coach, Khalil Thompson, admitted that he was coerced into saying my name versus just saying it. Secondly, they had a gun and a jacket and a ski mask, and they used that in the court, saying that it looked like the items that were used in the crime. But to a jury of people who are not lawyers or judges, to them that is saying that those are the things of the crime. They had no DNA. It was a completely circumstantial case. I had an alibi, and they knew that I had an alibi because I beat a previous armed robbery with the same alibi because I'm not lying. And instead of allowing my alibi to be completed, they threatened my co-defendant with perjury charges. I hung the jury once and went back for the second time, which is when I got found guilty.
Okay. So basically, a lot of things went wrong with your case. Now, let me ask you this. What do you see as a possibility for getting you back in court? Do you think a habeas corpus? Do you want to ask for a retrial? Like, if there's a lawyer on here right now that could contact you pro bono, what do you think would be the most important thing right now moving forward to get you back in the court to get some relief?
The most important thing being that I would like to get back with a aid pertaining to my witness, my alibi witness saying where I was at because she was illegally admonished. She had proof as well as cell phone records stated where I was at, and we had pictures. So that would be my position, like to say that, I would get back with that.
All right, that's beautiful. Now I want you to kind of give everybody your name and state number, where you at, because like I said, we have a lot of lawyers, different people on our platform, and if they could reach out to you to kind of look over your case, how can they contact you?
My name is Wayne Clark. My state number is 1205128. I'm currently housed at River North Correctional Center. You could also reach out to my family, at the number of 434-962-1181.
Now, one more thing. What do you feel about over-sentencing in Virginia? We do have a new governor right now who seems to be looking more into over-sentencing, second chances. So if you could talk to Governor Spanberger right now about receiving a 100-plus year sentence for a robbery where no one was hurt, you were 23 years old, still learning life, making mistakes. We all know that the brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. As a man who was once 23, I see you all the time now. You're a good guy. You're doing everything you can do here to go home. But if you could talk to Governor Spanberger right now, a delegate, someone who's listening, about over-sentencing, receiving 100 years, can you please say from your heart why that's not right, and what would you like to see change?
Well, over-sentencing, man, gives people the illusion of living without reason. You see what I'm saying? When you are a child, you are entitled to a mistake. Not saying that it was right, but I feel like if you are accountable, your life shouldn't be taken. You know what I'm saying? If I could say that anything that happened, I'd say that people give people a look and show them that they're changed. They're not the same people they were. I'm 37 years old now. I would never be that kid again. I'm a man who loves and knows my place in life. everyone changes. If this thing is about correction, give us ways to foster correction and the success in being better, so that we could become productive citizens and not a drag on society for taxes to be paid for us to live in here.
Yeah, and I want to thank Melo for giving his story. Like I said, good brother. When I heard the story, y'all, I have to tell you, like, I'm talking to people pretty much all day. So we out here, someone free, this happened, free, I got caught with possession of a weapon, I made a mistake, I was under the influence of drugs. Like, the stories will really make you feel like, wow, like, you have to relate, you have to understand. But when someone comes to you and they tell you they got 100 years for a robbery and no one got hurt, and they're saying the only reason you got 100 years is for the psychological effects on the victim, let me say this. My heart, my prayers, everything in me goes out to the victim. We are not going to sit here and make it seem like being a victim is an easy thing. We are so sympathetic to victims of crime. We pray for them. The majority of the guys here are very remorseful. I get to talk to them without the lights and the cameras and people around, so I know the sorrow that people feel for what they've done. But when you're saying that a man that's 23 years old has to lose the rest of his life for a crime that he committed where no one was hurt, not shot, not stabbed, not bleeding, not a stitch, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with us as people taking a 23, 19, 20-year-old man, young man who's still learning life, and saying, because you robbed these people and you scared them, I'm going to take 100 years of your life. Listen, I don't think people really, make sure y'all hear me on this. There is a man sitting by me who was 23 years old that did something stupid. Now, listen to what I'm telling you. It was stupid. Crimes that are committed are stupid. They could be callous. They could be mistakes. It could be under the influence of drugs, whatever that may be. But when you're telling me that there's a man beside me that's around here that I'm talking to every day that's got 108 years, 108 years for robbing somebody who was not harmed, I don't think that's right. And I'm praying that Governor Spanberger, a delegate, that someone will listen to this, that you can copy and paste the file and send it to a delegate, send it to the governor, and look up this guy. And so many others. I get it all the time. Uncle Free, I was 19. I robbed a 7-Eleven for $30. They gave me 60 years. Uncle Free, I was just messing with this person, and we went into Lowe's and snatched the cash register and accidentally bumped the clerk, and they had to get 2 stitches, and I got 75 years. I'm not simplifying crime. I'm not saying that crime is right. I'm not saying that what people do that we should not be punished. I'm only saying to anyone who's listening that has a heart, that has any compassion, that some of these cases in which situations happen where people were not stabbed, shot, there was no one brutally beaten, none of that. And these mistakes happened, and these things took place at a time where many people were under the influence of drugs, alcohol, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, made the worst mistake of their life and end up with a 70 to 100-year sentence. I just feel like that's not right. And I feel like there has to be some type of commission or panel set up that will look into these type of cases to ensure that, okay, this judge did this in Albemarle, this judge did this in Richmond, Roanoke, Charlottesville. Let's review this. Maybe the judge had a bad day. Maybe the judge had someone in their family that was a victim of crime. But to sit and think that logically a judge who's supposed to be impartial to the public and the defendant could give someone 108 years for a robbery where no one was hurt, not one person. He has his paperwork, he has all of his, not one person was hurt. I think we got to look at that. I think we have to look at that. And I pray that someone is listening to this now that will reach out to this gentleman, that will reach out to someone, play the tape. His name and everything is on there. The facts are the facts. The court transcript is a court transcript. These things can be verified. So as a correspondent for 40 Strong News, it is only my job to bring the stories, bring them to you with integrity, let the people who are talking talk and tell their stories, and it's only my job to give them the spotlight and to give them a platform to speak their truth and then say, look, we can change this. So I hope everyone got this story. We will have more 40 Strong stories coming up, some real good ones. Please stay tuned. We appreciate y'all. Please go to the40strong.com for any info or news. Continue to follow us at the 40, F-O-R-T-Y Strong on Facebook. And you can catch us on YouTube at 40 Minutes with 40. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you got something from this. Do not forget, if you are a person and you're listening and you don't like that story that a man is walking around with 108 years, your voice could be the one to change this. Reach out to somebody, speak your piece, write a letter. Let's do something. We can't keep throwing away these men. And overridingly, they're black and Spanish men that I'm around that were 19, 20, from Norfolk, from Farmville, from Alexandria, from Spotsylvania, from Charlottesville, all over the state. 19, 20, went to a gas station, robbed it, didn't hurt anyone, got 70 years. Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is Free, founder of the 40 Strong. If you are invested in criminal or prison reform and would like to be a volunteer with the 40 Strong, reach out to us. We would love to have you. You can reach us at the 40 strong at gmail.com. That again is the 40 strong at gmail.com. Or you can reach us by text by sending a message at 804-518-3930. Yes, please join on board. We would love to have you. We have so much stuff that we want to do this year with events, upcoming laws, bills, etc. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you.